should be escapist, should be just about having a good time and like getting your rocks off and getting pissed or whatever else. And sure, I think rock and roll has always had that, but why shouldn't it also face what's actually happening and try and deal with that as well?
Don't make a show of me, the camera's on you, right?
There's about 60 bouncers on duty.
I mean, you'd have more people injured at midnight mass on Christmas Eve in Dublin than you would at a rock and roll concert.
They can cross the religious divide. People will listen to them. Thousands of people are going to turn out to see them today.
U2, best group in the world.
It says also that part of the concert will be filmed by a World in Action documentary.
Does it say that? Does it say it?
Apparently.
They get everywhere, Edge.
U2, the biggest rock band in the world today, take the stage in their hometown, Dublin. U2's music has captured the imagination of a generation. Their songs are filled with universal images of our times. The grim landscapes of modern cities, drug abuse and hopelessness, the bloody troubles of Ulster, war and famine overseas. Yet from these, U2 have created music which uplifts their audience, music of power and spirit. They've become the focus for a new and youthful idealism, singing for the 1980s as the Beatles sang for the 1960s. This is a film about U2 and their audience.
I'm aware of the contradictions of being in a successful rock and roll band, and yet at the same time writing about the lack of success of my own contemporaries. just aware of, I mean, painfully aware of, literally the people on the same street as I grew up are having to leave Ireland and go to America to find jobs. Almost the rise of U2 is only equaled by the fall of our own contemporaries.
Another Irish group, U2, has in recent times had an immense impact through their music in the United States, bringing to that great country, a reflection of the positive and generous spirit and mood of the younger generation here. According to the New York Times, U2's performance in the US has caused the Democratic Party, in its approach to the next presidential election, to reevaluate its understanding of how young people in America think and feel. What other country but Ireland could have produced such an influential phenomenon in the United States?
In the 60s, Dublin was a very small, pretty European city. And due to corruption and mismanagement and appalling planning, they removed people from the heart of the city out to these appalling, to me, ghettos out in the suburbs, places like Neilstown, places like that. There's a couple of tower blocks there that are notorious, Ballymun, amongst others. And when they removed the heart of the city, they took its soul with it. And so all the business, classic stuff, all the businesses around started folding and it became a wasteland. And the city itself became destroyed at the hands of the city management.
Must find a way to get out of here, or I'll pull this whole place down. I'll find some way to get out of here. I'll turn this world around. I'll first I get bouncing. I try hard, take notion. Go further than an ocean. I can't swim all that way. Get away.
If you're from Ballymun, there's no chance really. Like if there's someone from Blackrock and you have the same interview as you, you know, if you're from Ballymun, he has a far better chance of getting it because Ballymun's name, it has a name for itself.
It's crap. You feel it inside. You know, not all of us are all into drugs then. And we feel like we are when we're told we're from Ballymun. You feel different than what you are. You feel like you're one of them.
Future now, I see it as the band, being in the band, with unemployment as it is now at the moment. It's the only way out is the band, really.
We're only starting off, and we're only a number in this country. You two have a name.
Then there was the drug thing. I don't know why it should be so epidemic in Dublin, but it is far worse than in London in relative terms.
I'll find some way to get out of here. And I'll turn this world around.
Somebody gave it to me one time, and you know, I was just that stoned. Somebody put it in my arm, you know, and I got something right to the head, and I thought I was just gonna die, you know. I didn't see any sort of a life for myself at the time, you know. It was the only thing that was exciting to me. There was nothing worth doing that was exciting, you know. You think about all the other kids and that's coming up, you know. Like, there's nothing for them, you know. When they're gonna grow up, they're gonna go through all the same things. Some will go on to be probably locked up for life. Some will just be in and out of prison all the time, you know. I've seen them stoned and I've seen them drunk, and when they're drunk and they're stoned, they're very violent, you know, because that brings out the anger in them.
If over half the country is under 25 or whatever the statistics are, you're looking at a potentially vicious explosive situation where you have classic African conditions like urbanization from a countryside that can no longer support its people, where you're looking at a city that can't live up to the expectations of the new immigrants, when you're looking at no jobs for those who have got the gumption to go out and try doing things themselves, or for those who just look for a regular job, or for university graduates, then you have mass emigration again, and that destroys the country.
It's very hard to go to America by yourself. I'd probably be bawling my eyes out, but I'll give it my best shot and see how it goes. But I have a boyfriend who doesn't want me to go, and my relatives generally don't want me to go. But I've decided that I have to go because there's no other option.
How are you feeling today with legs off?
My family don't actually realise how bad the situation is. And my father keeps saying to me, you know, oh, something will turn up. You'll get a job somewhere in a nursing home somewhere. But I mean, the hospitals all around Ireland, not just Dublin, all around Ireland, they're letting their own staff go. And they're not even entertaining letters for vacancies for anything at all, in any section.
Is your boyfriend listening?
I don't think it's really hit him yet. He doesn't think I'll go when it comes to the crunch, but I will. I have to.
So she woke up from where she was, lying still, said I've gotta do something about where I'm going. Step on a steam train, step out of the driving rain, baby, run from the darkness in the night. Singing la 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 la, yeah. La 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 la, yeah. La 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 yeah. La la yeah. Sweet little sin, but bitter the taste in my mouth. I see 7 towers, but I only see one way out. You gotta cry without weeping, talk without speaking, scream without raising your voice. You know I took the poison from the poison stream, then I floated out of here, singing la 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 la, yeah. La 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 la, yeah. La 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 yeah. La 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 She wants to
it'd be very easy for me to talk about Ireland like it's a broken place. The spirit is broken. The spirit is not broken.
An ordinary kid in the street, right? He may think all these things, but nobody's ever going to listen to him or take any attention of him. Whereas a rock group, they've got the public waiting to hear what they're going to say.
People say that, you know, we're very proud that you're Irish, but I'm very proud to be Irish.
What they can achieve is they can spread their message, spread what they think through more people than any politician could, because they're probably more listened to than anybody around the world.
I do see a future, but I think it's worth fighting for, and that's all you know, that's the anger in our music. I think it's the right kind of anger. It's not to tear down, it's to build up.
If you can't change anything, well then it's never going to change. It has to change somehow. It's people like us, the young people, who have to listen. If they give it a chance and people do get ready to change, well then things will happen, things will get better. It has to.
I think there's nothing more boring than complaining all the time. I mean, that was one thing I thought about the punk movement. It was great, but it was as if it was enough to just stand around and say how bad everything was. And I always thought, well, okay, things are bad, but, you know, where's the light at the end of the tunnel?
Bad for me is a song that I use to wake myself up to see the world around me and what was going on in the world around me. I feel a part of a generation that is waking up. And I'm not saying, look, I'm awake, all you people are just, walking and talking in your sleep. I believe I'm part of a generation that's waking up. Rock and roll music is the soundtrack to change. It is at its most exciting, I think.
The imagination that is evident in Ireland, evident everywhere you go, the imagination that's evident in U2's music, the imagination that's evident in the audience at U2, where they can lose themselves and imagine this thing, must be applied to the problems of the country. And if that helps to change it, then good.
Some of the lyrics of in a U2 song do relate to the way they're feeling. There's insecurity, but you know, I think most people have some kind of a hope. It's just there's very little rock and roll that deals in that.
Even though things are very bad at the moment, I think they still just have that element of hope that it will get better.
I feel proud of how far I've come. You know, I could be still down in the... I mean, I know I'm the Labour, I know I'm on the Labour and I'm not working, but I'm not on the gutter anymore. With people who loves me and respects me.
Mainly the good things you have to make the good things happen yourself. If you don't, it's going to be bad all the time.
If you think little boys get dirty, look what big ones get up to. Ethel Donnelly knows, as she washes the kit for the Arsenal.
You see, this is the problem. To stop the red running into the white, I have to use a low temperature, which never got the kit really clean until I changed to Ariel Automatic.
See what happens when we compare Ethel's old powder with Ariel. It's the difference between nearly clean and really clean.
Now take a look at the results. The sleeves are brilliant white. The Ariel is so great. I mean, if my washing wasn't completely clean, the flares would soon tell me. So my job depends upon the powder I use.
Ariel, not just nearly clean, but really clean.
To mix the real orange pieces in Orangina, you've got to shake it.
Orangina.
Orangina, shake the bottle, wake the drink.
carrots, apricots, cherries, passion fruit, tomatoes, pears, papayas,
Moulinex makes juice
mangoes.
simple.
Quick, order half central heating today. Save £100. Plus, nothing to pay till 1988. Ring 464-6575 now.
Me and the new lad got the first one out the front seat. He'd never seen anything like it. Had to leave the body on the side of the road. I covered it with my tunic. Took, what, 2 hours to get out on it? Pretty girl. Looked a bit like my sister. And then we found the baby. But no what bothers me. Bloke in their car kept saying it wasn't his fault, but he'd been drinking, hadn't he? I don't know how he'll ever live with himself.
Tired eyes,
Refreshing.
gritty eyes,
Soothing.
smoky eyes.
Optrex. What a sight for sore eyes.
Jim, I gotta tell you a story. I was up in Donegal. I drove over the border by mistake, and I got pulled into the side of the road, and this guy shone lights into the car, and the guy, I heard this sort of British accent, sort of quite a well-to-do accent, and he says, "Turn off your lights! Turn off your lights!" So I didn't know what to do, so I just turned off my lights, you know, and he walked closely, walked up to the car, and he walked up to the car, and he said, "Good Lord, it's Bono." Good Lord, it's Bono, he said. And with that, about 40 guys came out of the forest, you know, with like flower pots on their heads and everything, asking me for my autograph. I thought it was an amusing inconvenience. My mother was a Protestant, my father was a Catholic, and I was brought up almost in both churches. I mean, my early background was in a Church of Ireland. But right now, I mean, I feel equally at home or equally not at home in both camps.
This bus, people, Protestant, Catholic, people who may care more than others about certain issues, but we're still all on the same bus going to see the same band.
They want to sort of do their bit to bring the two communities together. They've realised the impact they can have on young people.
On one level, you know, I have no right to comment about the troubles in the north of Ireland because I come from the safety of the south, but at the same time, I'm an Irishman and I live in Ireland and I believe in the country north and south, so, you know, I'm literally, you know, torn in two about it myself.
Protestant Catholics should live together, all right. But like, if you walk into a Protestant area, like, there's no way you're gonna walk out without getting a beating or whatever.
But the thing is, you're brought up. If you're in a Protestant society, you're brought up to hate Catholics. If you're in a Catholic society, you're brought up to hate Protestants. That's not the way it should
really,
be.
there's no difference. If you look at it that way.
Yeah.
As he says, a lot of journalists go out to...
They go out to aggravate
they
people.
sort of look, yeah, aggravate. They're out to aggravate Catholics and Protestants, you know. I mean, we're sitting in the same bus here together, and they want...
We're getting full together.
Yeah. we're having a great time here.
When I think of peace, I think of hippies with flowers in their hairs and everything, but I think you can be aggressive. You can be an aggressive pacifist, and I suppose in U2 that's we consider ourselves aggressive pacifists.
It's almost like the pop idols, the rock idols are gods in a way, and they're listening, and like U2, a lot of people follow what they say as sort of God, if you like. But I mean, it's rock music and something that could act as spiritual to the young people today. Certainly more, I think, than the church does. Because in Ireland, the church has brought nothing but divide. So why not look to something different to bring us together?
Come on, a lot of people who are religious don't have any belief. Let's not be naive about that. There's a hell of a lot of people who see religion as some kind of social thing, you know, or in the case of certain parts of the world, Northern Ireland included, it's a racist thing, and it's a chance to be on one side or the other side.
If you read back through the early days, the sacrifices that the people of Ireland in their poverty and hardship made to set up this missionary movement. And the symbol of this, even today, I suppose we could say, in lieu of the day that's in it, the symbol of this spirit still carrying on in the Irish people is the U2 with their messages as they travel the world, preaching a message of peace, not war, just as we preach a message of peace, not war. This is Ireland.
I think Bono and the whole band are so charismatic, you know, that they touch you and they lift you up and they inspire you. I think there's an awful lot of good in that sort of spirituality because it brings people towards a knowledge of the spiritual life and deeper, higher ideals that there's more to life than 9-to-5 jobs and what make ends meet. There's a deeper yearning in everybody for spirit, something in the spirit, you know, and that I think that is brilliant. And whether they don't adhere to organised religion or not, at least that they are awakening in people to that need within themselves.
People think because I am attracted to people like Gandhi or the Reverend Martin Luther King, or even my faith, my belief in Christ, that I, therefore, am some sort of hero or man of God or peacemaker. One of the reasons I'm actually one of the reasons I'm attracted to these people is because I'm the very person who would not turn the other cheek, and I grew up with the violence in me, and it's still in me, and I despise it. Somebody just on the last tour of the United States threw up the tricolour, the green, white, and orange Irish flag, and I found myself in almost kind of in a rage. And I just said, I picked up one and I said, "What? Do you see this flag? You see this colour? What colour is it?" And they shout out, "Orange." And I just pointed to the other end of the flag. I said, "You see that colour? What's that?" They said, "Green." And then I pointed to the middle, and I say, "You see this? What's this?" And they all shout back, "White." And I said, "All I see is red." At the time of the Bobby Sands hunger strike, people were throwing dollars up on the stage. There was shouts of "Up the IRA" from the stage. We were an Irish band, and they thought we would fit into this version of Ireland